This is Justin Scoop on Tuesday, December 16th, 2025. And today played out really spot on to what was discussed yesterday. We had kind of some relative lows. Actually, if I extend this, it was way up here, right? That formed somewhat of like a descending triangle. I said we looked like we were gapping down. We ended up not gapping down much. Retest and roll over. Then that played into another consolidation here. This one more of a symmetric triangle. That broke down, retested, almost back up to the high here, rolled over again, and actually found some support where? Right at the purple line. And then we rallied. We actually closed positive on the day. So the open here and the close here, they're really close to each other. I actually didn't check to see how many cents away they are, but nearly flat on the day, but a lot of movement, a lot of great just ebbs and flows that were really, really clean. You know what? I'm gonna grab a screenshot of this and use this as the thumbnail because this was a great setup. I'm talking through this yesterday. Just seen it play out. It was phenomenal. Uh, so there we go. Okay, got the screenshot. Let me get out of this. We'll just zoom in on today and there we go. Let me go back to, okay, so yeah, bullish day today, the open, and the close, 14 cents positive on the day. 14 cents. It's very similar, I think it was this day, or it was 10 cents or something. Yeah, this day was 10 cents. Today was 14 cents. Just really crazy, just really balanced, more or less. But yeah, a lot of ebbs and flows. You can see the same thing in the options. Here's the 6,800 call and the 6,750 put. And there were a lot of opportunities to get into some of these options really inexpensively. That's why I focused in on these. So, here's the dollar price. At any point in the afternoon, you could have bought this call for $1 and it would have run up a couple of times here. If you just held on up to 10, like this would have gone from literally from a 1 up to 11, right? That's $1,000 gain. Phenomenal setup. Just buying inexpensive options. You may have even been able to get two of these for 0.5. So going from zero point 0.5 up to 11, or zero point 0.5 up to 10.5. That's if you bought two, that's $2,000, 1,000 per contract. Anyway, same sort of thing happening on the put, just not as strong. And part of that was just the market makers had already baked in, some of the pricing, and so this stayed more expensive. Having some higher lows here early in the day, coming down to about 1 here, and then with the rollover from here to here, it didn't quite get to at the money. Whereas we got to the 6850 or the 6800 call here, we didn't quite get down to the 6850 at the low of the day. So because we're still out of the money, we didn't make it up to 10 or quite up as high as this made it on the call. So just kind of looking at how these move differently. But again, a lot of opportunities to buy expensively, multiple opportunities, looking for, okay, what are these levels? What I just drew out, this sort of S curve, all this choppiness, you got some consolidation, like just look for it to come back to, okay, here's the high. Look for it to come back to that high, for the puts. So that would have been put here. It's like, don't buy that one. That's just showing the level. But then look to get in over here. Once that gets taken out, just the choppiness pulled a lot of premium out. I'm sure there were bulls trapped here thinking it was going to go higher, just like we were looking at yesterday, and it rolled back down. And so there's some great opportunities to just ride this one back, ride this put, the put up as SPX went down. Even this one over here where it held above the purple line. I don't think it came down to 0.5 here. You could have been buying at 1 and maybe almost gotten a double up to 2, on that move. But the better move was actually buying the call. That's where this happened, buying at 0.5 and just letting that run. And it did run. Paused a little bit at the 100 and then just continued on up. We had a nice base here, so this is just a great day of just the ebbs and the flows in the market. Go back, study this day, see how the options move. Look at the different options. Look at 68 05, look at 67.95, look at the 67.60, look at the 67.75. Like, look at all these different strikes to see how the options move. Because, I mean, the 67.75 was moving way better. It just, what price did it actually give you to get into it? Let's go look. So late in the day, it got really cheap, but it didn't recover. But all of this, let's see through here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to zoom in even more. So it came down between 2 and 3 on this last move here. This was almost kind of like a relative high. From here to here was pretty much relative high, slightly below this. So if you were looking for that price in particular, it's really difficult to do. You probably would need to set this up to buy at 3 and just wait to see, are we going to hold 2 as a nice risk? And then that moved up to nicely up to 10, 11 there, as this rolled down. So it just depended on kind of where we were going to pause. We were making lower highs. Here's a high, here's our first lower high, second lower high, third lower high, and that was it. Then we started to contend with that price again here. Just lost the drawing tool. Contend with that high here, and then we took it out. And it's like at this point, something has shifted, obviously, but we had already been running. So, if you were looking to buy once it was contending with this, buying on this dip here, that would have been still decent. You could have bought it like a 3 and a stop down at 2 on this call and hung on for a little bit of a ride here. Double, triple the option from 2 up to 4 or 6, 8, 10. Like that would have worked late in the day here for this kind of a move up late in the day. Not at the very end of the day, because that actually ended positive still, but lost a ton of premium in the last 3 minutes of the day. That's phenomenal too. Like, look at how those candles move. Um, it is possible you could sell that and make that money on its move down, but with 3 minutes, yeah, I don't want to be selling that. So anyway, that's what I got. Hope this helps. And please go back and look at how this stuff moved today, because it was really a great lesson just with how everything was set up yesterday with the consolidation. I'll move the screenshot back over. All this consolidation yesterday and then the choppiness that we got today. We just kept retesting basically this bottom edge of that descending triangle until we came back up into kind of the apex area here. So wait and see what we're going to do tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to continue to have some bearishness come in or if that was the bounce. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Hope this helps. This is Justin. Thanks.